Welcome to the car show. We love motoring and everything to do with it. Cars and bikes, new and old, fast and slow. We've got time for learner drivers, girl racers, motor maniacs. We've even got time for Sunday drivers. This week we show you how to save up to a third off the price of a new car by importing it yourself. The loudest Cortina in Britain. We talk decibels with an in-car entertainment fanatic. Plus, picking up a super mini bargain. Peugeot's classic 205 features in this week's buyer's guide. And overspec'd, oversized, and over here, the runaway success of American cars. But now Tristram Payne drives Honda's new multi-purpose machine that promises to redefine the leisure vehicle.
The 4x4 market had been chugging along quite nicely until 1994, when Toyota launched their unconventional RAV4, a car with off-road ability that was designed mostly for driving on tarmac roads. It reinvented the off-road market and came to be known as a sports utility vehicle. Toyota's RAV4 has been a huge success and had the market virtually all to itself.
Until now, because Honda have targeted this profitable niche with this, their compact recreational vehicle, the CR-V. If I didn't know better, I'd say I was driving an MPV, because somehow Honda have managed to create the same feeling of space that you get from a people carrier. I mean, look at the windows, they're huge and it feels really light and airy. But you also get the traditional benefits of a 4x4 in that you sit high above the other cars and the visibility is great.
In driving terms, the CR-V does a lot of things very well. The 2-litre, 126 brake horsepower engine seems tuned for British driving conditions, with good acceleration for those quick getaways and strong mid-range power available between about 40 and 70 miles an hour. It runs out of path at 100 miles an hour, but driving on today's cramped roads with your family on board, you'll never need more than that.
The CR-V has got a really clever adaptable four-wheel drive system, because in normal dry conditions it stays in two-wheel drive, but if you're going down slippery roads or country lanes, it goes into the four-wheel drive mode. Now the good news is there are no levers to pull or complex manuals to read, because it does it all automatically. You just drive it wherever you want and the CR-V works out how to give you maximum grip.
If you enjoy the countryside, you'll like this built-in picnic table. Underneath there's a sealed unit to put your muddy wellies in after a walk. The interior is practical, all passengers get room to relax, and you can even recline the rear seats. There's plenty of stowage space and unexpected features like the hinged cup holder shelf. But I don't see why they put the sunroof over the rear passengers. That's daft, you're leaving the kids to get sunburnt. Colour-coded carpets can be removed easily for cleaning, which is a good idea. And the dash is a simple affair with air conditioning as standard and a flip-front radio.
The automatic gear shift on this car is actually mounted in a really strange place. Instead of being on the floor, where you think it should be, it's actually mounted on the steering column. And I suppose the thinking behind this is to give the driver and the passenger more room. But I actually find it really annoying because it's difficult to select the right gear and it's actually very fiddly.
Honda have thought long and hard about the exterior styling of the CR-V and how to appeal to their core market. Young suburban families who lead active outdoor lives. They've gone for a bold look which is distinctive enough to attract attention but not so radical that it scares buyers away. Indicator clusters set into the rear pillars are a modern touch, and the split tailgate is practical and distinctive. The CR-V looks cool on its spoked alloys, and the vivid paintwork would shine through even after a hard day's mud plugging. But maybe Honda have missed a trick. They're only offering the CR-V as a 5-door model. Toyota's RAV4 sells huge numbers of the shorter-bodied 3-door version to single suburbanites. If Honda had produced a baby-sized CR-V, they'd have cleaned up in this trend-conscious market. The CR-V has 2 levels of specification. The basic LS costs just under £17,000, while the range-topping ES is just under £18,000, almost £2,000 cheaper than the equivalent RAV4. Power steering, anti-lock brakes and twin airbags come as standard.
The mix of fun styling, easy handling and practicality offered by sports utility vehicles is aimed squarely at the 90s family. But Honda's new CR-V fits the bill for modern motoring so well that it threatens not only to satisfy this niche, but to steal sales from others. Manufacturers of mainstream four-wheel drives, estate cars and even MPVs will be watching it closely because the CR-V looks set to be on a lot of shopping lists.
So, from Japan to the United States, American cars used to be flimsy, inefficient and vulgar. But times have changed, and now the coolest lifestyle statement of all is a big yank tank. General Motors, Ford and Chrysler first sold American cars in the UK in the 1920s. And by the 50s, we couldn't get enough of their funky fins and bumper-to-bumper chrome. But in the 70s, it all went horribly wrong. Motor City's slab-sided creations just got too wide for our roads. Worse still, the oil crisis meant Brits couldn't afford to run them. The manufacturers pulled out of Europe en masse. But today, Americana is big business once again in Britain. The American car is back in town in a big way.
What I think people like about these cars is that they're not apologising for being cars. A lot of European and Japanese makers have come over all PC and sandals and woolly jumper about the whole business of motoring, but the Americans just give it to you in your face with the baseball cap on the wrong way round. The message is simple, it's have a nice day. And that's something we like about the Americans. They know how to have a good time.
And it was the ultimate fun vehicle, the Chrysler Jeep, which kick-started the resurgence of sales for American cars in the UK. It may be outclassed by modern off-roaders in handling and price, but it's still the original 4x4. Whether it's the romantic connection with GIs or the ageless good looks, you know this car is the real deal. Even when the Jeep wasn't on sale in the UK, Chrysler continued to receive inquiries from potential customers. Eventually, they became convinced there was a market for the car over here, and in 1993 successfully relaunched the Jeep in the UK.
On the back of this vehicle, we've launched other Chrysler Jeep products in the UK, such as the Cherokee, the Grand Cherokee, the Voyager and the Neon. We advertised Neon on the TV for the first time, and in just 1 month we attracted 18,000 customer inquiries. We had 1,500 vehicles to sell in the year, and those were sold in just 3 weeks. In fact, our dealers said to us, please stop advertising on TV, we just can't cope with the demand.
A big part of the appeal is that American-built cars come across the pond loaded with extra equipment. The all-new Voyager has leather seats, cruise control and air conditioning for around 25 grand. Encouraged by Chrysler's UK sales, Ford have also now decided to import their Explorer in right-hand drive. The biggest selling off-roader in the world with over 2 million sales, the Explorer's blend of chunky styling, masses of space, and grunty engine looks set to make a big dent in the UK 4x4 market this year. And US cars are now built to last. The body panels are treated to prevent rust, and the engines manage low emissions and fuel consumption figures. They're even taking safety seriously. Most have dual airbags and anti-lock brakes. But America was never exactly the good taste capital of the world. So amongst all the good stuff heading our way, there are less appealing models like the Ford Probe.
Well, the Probe's been a bit of a disappointment, really. It was brought over from America, and we all thought it was going to be the next Capri, but somehow it didn't quite work out that way. It drives nicely enough, especially this V6 engine one, but somehow it's a bit too vulgar to be a European car, not really vulgar enough to be a proper American. And the interior, it's just a bit world of leather, I'm afraid. The modern European Fords are much nicer than this. So sorry guys, it's not the next Capri, and it ain't no Mustang either.
Despite the odd mistake, the avalanche of American autos just keeps coming. The car which sums up American excess, the ridiculously macho Chevrolet Corvette, might make it to Blighty next year. With a V8 engine and top speed of 171 miles per hour, it's £39,000 of over-the-top, raucous roadster. You have to love it. There are also strong rumours that GM plans to launch Cadillacs, synonymous with luxury, through the Vauxhall dealer network this autumn. This STS sedan could soon be available in right-hand drive. And there's plenty of classy stuff in a caddy. Windscreen wipers react to rain, and the twilight detector switches the headlights on automatically at dusk. If you're a fan of US excess, there are countless other kitsch touches. The Plymouth Prowler is one of those cars that only the Americans could have built. Inspired by the hot rods of the 50s, it fair reeks of nostalgia. For every person who thinks it's a car for balding middle-aged men, there's another who can't wait to blow their wages on it. Chrysler must meet US orders before deciding whether they'll import the Prowler into the UK, but let's hope they do. American cars will probably only make up 1% of sales in the UK this year. It may not sound a lot, but US car makers will be more than happy. It proves they're competing and succeeding in key niche markets like off-roaders and people movers, where European manufacturers are currently fighting hard to build image and status. For now, it's American cars that have got the X factor which puts money in the till, and that makes them the cars to be seen in. Welcome back to the Car Show. In a moment we'll be showing you how to save thousands on the cost of a new car and test driving a used runabout that's chic yet cheap. But first this.
Hi, my name's Ice. That's short for In-Car Entertainment. And I'm going to take you in my car and entertain you. There are 86 speakers in the whole of the car. It won the loudest car in England, and this can be heard up to 2 miles away. The car produces 154 decibels, which is equivalent to 3 to 4 times louder than a rock concert within the confines of the car. And that's goddamn loud. Lover of loud music, going to cruises and posing. I'll be quite front about it, I'm a poser. It's quite tarty because that's the way I like to have my car. It's got quite a lot of gadgets. It's got the old spoilers to make it look lower. I have the alloy rims all polished. I have neons inside the car and outside the car. I have the tinted windows. I've got a TV aerial at the back because I have a TV and video in the car. The alarm basically talks to you.
Alarm will sound if you don't back away.
As American hydraulics makes the car go up and down. I think I do surprise nearly everybody when I'm at set traffic lights and I start flexing the hydraulics. When they see the car, they tend to think, oh, just another boy racer. But when you start flexing the hydraulics, it's something out of the blue, something quite extraordinary, really. And as you can see, the rear quarter is actually starting to split now because of the strain of having the hydraulics, having so many batteries and having such a big sound system in the car. But hey, no pain, no gain. I've put so much blood, sweat and tears into this car. It is my life.
New cars?
Loads of money.
Who'd buy one? Well, us Brits, actually. Last year, 2 million drivers coughed up for a new car, not realising that because of high taxes in the UK, it's one of the most expensive places to buy in Europe. Yet, with a bit of nous, it's possible to save up to 1/3 off the UK price. So next time a dealer here offers you a 4% discount for cash, you can tell him where to go. It's time you considered importing your car. First, what does importing your car actually entail? Well, it means buying the car abroad, driving it around for a bit to satisfy importing regulations, and then bringing it back. It's possible because foreign dealers are obliged to sell you a right-hand drive car, and since the pound is strong, you've got a lot of buying power. Plus, countries like Spain have high car taxes, so manufacturers price cars lower to make them more affordable. But as a Brit, you don't pay foreign tax, just the basic price. In France, loads of people drive a Super Mini, so increased supply has driven the prices down. Buying a Vauxhall Corsa in Portugal saves you 38%, pulling the starting price down to below £5,000. In the Republic of Ireland, you can save 30% on a VW Polo. And both the Fiat Bravo and Marea are 28% cheaper there. How about the Audi A4? In Germany, you can save £3,300 and you jump the waiting list. But remember, you don't always save money because some cars are more expensive abroad. And as manufacturers get wise to the potential savings, they can make it hard for foreign dealers to help you. But arm yourself with the facts and you shouldn't go wrong. There are two ways to do it. An agency like this will do it all for you. You don't need to venture further than your front door, but you'll pay a commission of around £500 depending on the car. Supply can vary, but just make sure the agent is credible and won't land you with any hidden charges above the standard VAT. Or you can do everything yourself. That involves ordering the car abroad and then collecting it. You can pay your deposit over the phone with a credit card. Remember to arrange insurance for driving abroad and pre-order your currency from a bank to ensure a good exchange rate. Customs and Excise must be told what's going on. All the information is in the Department of Transport's booklet P12, available from the DVLA in Swansea. In Europe, you must watch out for low specifications. British buyers have been spoilt with luxuries like electric sunroofs, airbags, and electric windows. If you want them, you must insist. Sometimes the speedometer needs to have miles per hour stickers added, and the lights must be to UK specification. If these need to be changed, make sure you've accounted for them. And remember, travel does cost. Your local dealer is obliged to serve your warranty, although, as your VW salesman will tell you, a German import carries only a 1-year warranty, whereas for a car bought in this country, it's 3. Whether it's worth the aggro depends on the make of car and how much you save. But until the UK dealers start dropping prices in line with Europe, shopping abroad is the best way to get a bargain. Now for a real classic car, not one of these cherished beauties here, but a modern, compact Peugeot which changed the face of small cars and now makes a great second-hand buy. Right from its launch in 1983, the Peugeot 205 was a hit. Small, classy, friendly and purposeful, it had that certain something which made both men and women want to be seen in one. And it still makes you feel like that today. The Pininfarina bodywork looks fresh and perky. It's as attractive as any of the current crop of super minis like the Vauxhall Corsa or Fiat Punto, and with thousands still on the road in all ages and conditions, from this GTI to the diesel, whatever your budget, there's bound to be one out there for you. If you're after a no-frills car, you can't go far wrong with a diesel 205. The French government gave tax breaks to diesel drivers, so Peugeot spent money getting the engine right. French diesels are fast, frugal and fun to drive. This 1.8 is the one to look out for, and averages between 45 and 65 miles to the gallon. Not bad, eh? They came in a pretty dull range of colours. RAF blue, boring beige, white and off red. And the interiors were pretty basic too. No electric anything. You won't mind letting the kids climb in with their dirty wellies because it's an unglamorous workhorse that starts every morning, runs with little maintenance and goes on for donkey's years. The ride on country roads in a 205 can often put bigger, more expensive cars to shame. On the other hand, if you're driving around town, its nippiness and ease of maneuver in tight spaces will certainly be appreciated. You'll feel confident about parking, doing tricky three-point turns and squeezing through tight gaps. It's a friendly car you'll come to trust, with a very accommodating boot. Buying a 205 diesel? Prices depend on year and condition. If you've got £1,000 to spend, you should be able to find a D-plate diesel with plenty of life left in it. If you've got some extra cash to flash and you want your 205 to turn heads, then how about the cabriolet? Top down, wind in your hair, or not, as the case may be. And with 4 seats, there's plenty of room to take your sun-seeking mates cruising. When they cut the roof off, Peugeot had to strengthen the chassis to keep the handling up to scratch. And all that extra weight in steel slows the car down. So the one to go for is the 1.6 CTI, or even better, the 1.9, which had a good strong engine, loads of street cred, and will cost you about £4,000. The car that sums up the lasting appeal of the 205 range is the GTI. You just had to be seen in it. It's still the same 3-door 205 body shape, but the lowered suspension, fat tyres and spotlights make it look much racier. You can tell the 2 engine sizes apart because the 1.6 had these holed alloys. The more desirable 1.9 had big chunky spokes. This car was very popular in the 80s, perhaps because it's so user-friendly. You get all that hatchback practicality, along with amazing performance if you get to blast along a B road. Second-hand prices range from £2,000 to £9,000. A recent drop in GTI insurance premiums has pushed prices up.
Used 205 GTIs don't hang around on forecourts or in the classifieds for too long, but don't buy the first one you see. Make sure it's a nice example, it's not been thrashed, it's been cherished. If you find that car, it's probably worth buying it because they're becoming quite rare right now. Make sure you HPI the car. For a fee of £25, the AA or HPI will do this for you, and it checks it's not been damaged, it's not been stolen, recovered, and there's no finance outstanding on it. A car such as this, I'd say it's essential.
Spares are cheap and plentiful. A headlamp is £25 and brake pads are a measly £8 each. Watch out for engines that race through the revs when you switch on, a common fault. Shoehorning that big engine into a tiny bay means you need a plumbing degree to troubleshoot. So find a specialist you can trust and get them to check it out. You can spot damaged valve oil seats by looking for smoke from the exhaust. Blue smoke means a costly repair. Finally, look under the boot. There should be a spare wheel. If not, it could cost you £215. Peugeot 205 was one of the cars of the 80s, and for all the same reasons, it makes a great second-hand buy in the 90s. Small but perfectly formed, it's a car that many have tried to copy, but none have ever bettered. Next week, we'll be driving Mini's cute Cooper, finding out how to handle your car in an emergency, and sampling a luxury used bargain, the Jaguar XJS. Join us then. Good night.